Hi, this is David Clive from Deed Ventures, and I want you to just take a minute with me here and imagine waking up in the morning to this. These are views from a property that we have for sale, just a sweeping panorama of mountains and the desert valley below. This is in a town called Meadview, which is located in Arizona, north of Kingman and a little bit east of Las Vegas. It's about 45 minutes from the Grand Canyon, an hour and 15 minutes from Kingman, Arizona, and a little under 2 hours away from Las Vegas. So you can easily reach those cities with a day trip from here, and you get to be out in nature, look at these views, and you just get to enjoy the desert of Arizona. And now we're going to look a little bit to the south here. So the property sits up on a hill, and we'll zoom into it. So as you can see, here's Las Vegas. Kingman, if you follow the 93 down south, is down there. Maybe it would help if I scrolled down a bit so you could see Kingman. And this property is up here. And the reason why they call this town Meadview is because there's a ridge that the town sits on, and from the ridge you can get a nice view of Lake Mead. So here's the property. As you can see, the property is on the eastern side of town, which is the most desirable place to be because you're higher up on the ridge and you have better views of the mountain across the valley here, the mountain range across the valley. You're also closer to the top of the ridge where you have views sweeping this way, and depending on where you are on the ridge, you can potentially see these parts of the Colorado River / Lake Mead here. So really cool area, and this is a really great property. As I mentioned earlier, it is an acre plus or minus, and it sits right here on Wishing Well Drive. It's got nice frontage, and as you could probably see from the video clip, there are some power poles around. So luckily the neighbors have moved in, and so I don't know the exact distances, but there should be power nearby. And the property is a little bit hilly. It's got definitely has. So as you can see here from this angle, it's a little easier to see. Maybe if I slant it a little bit more, it'll be a little more obvious. So from Wishing Well Drive, there's a bit of a divot down here, and then the back side of the property sits up on a nice ridge there. So if it were me, this is probably where I would want to park up here, so I would get a better view of the surrounding area. If you want more privacy, you could park down in here, and replace whatever structure you want farther down here, and then you have the hill to protect you from wind and from other people, so you have more privacy. So it's great for either of those options, whatever you're looking for. I'm more of a view person. Some people really like the privacy, but there you have it. That's the lay of the land. And now let's see if we can pull up here we go, the map from Wishing Well Drive all the way down to Kingman. It's about an hour and 15 minutes, give or take. And for things to do in the area nearby, right here you're super close to Lake Mead. Like I mentioned earlier, the Grand Canyon is also pretty close. You're only 45 minutes away. So if you want to go out and explore, if you want to have this as like a weekend property and you go out and you explore the scenery around, I mean, some of the most amazing natural features on the face of the earth are in this area. If you want to live here and go out exploring during the day, this is a great spot for that too. And you're also right next to the Colorado River, so you can follow the Colorado River down south and see things like the London Bridge, and there are lots of pretty sights as you follow it along down south. Not to mention the fact that you're within a day trip's distance to Las Vegas or Boulder, And Kingman, since it's only an hour and 15 minutes away, I guess I'll look at that. Here's what the weather is like in Kingman, and it's pretty similar up here in Meadview. And there are plenty of things to do in Kingman. Not nearly as much as there is in Vegas, but it is an hour closer. So, that's a great feature to have nearby. A great opportunity to have a city like that nearby. Now to see what comps are going for, I just pulled up all of the vacant properties listed on Zillow that are between half an acre and an acre in the Meadview area, which is a pretty big geographical area, as you can see here. And at the low end, it starts at about 2,400. The average, let's see, we have 3 pages, so the average right here is probably about 7,000. And if we zoom into the area that we're looking at to get a better feel for what prices are in the specific area, since, as I mentioned, this is on the western side of town, and it's also up on the ridge. Zooming in should help us get a better feel for, what this particular property is up against. So these are the other properties that are in the neighborhood. And as you can see, they start out at 5,000 and they work their way up from there. So, some of them being $25,000 to $40,000. And I'll be listing this for about half the price of these $5,000 properties, which, if you look at the average price around here, that's a pretty good deal. And I don't expect I list my properties aggressively, and I hope that they will sell quickly. That's kind of my whole business model, is to have a low margin, sell properties for substantially less than they're worth, and by doing so, to make it up by selling lots of properties. So hopefully this goes quickly. Hopefully, if you're interested, you're able to grab it. And if you have any more questions about the property, if you want more information, there's a link at the bottom of this page where you can go to the property website, and I basically list everything I know about the property on there. And there will be links to maps that will show you how to get to the property. And so basically also the purchasing information, and you can just click the Buy Now button to buy it from there as well. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully we'll get to work with you at some point in the near future. And I wish you the best in your property search.